You are now watching Geeked Up Paranormal.
Welcome back, Paranormal Geeks, and Geeked Up Paranormal podcast. My name is Brandon, and today with us we have Nicole Stroud from Through the Veil Paranormal. If you could speak to the dead, what would you say? What would you ask, and want to know? Travel with the psychic medium Nicole Stroud in some of the interesting places and meet the spirits that live there with tech guru Becky Roper. Nicole takes you on a paranormal quest of the spirit world. Join us on all new paranormal adventures, see all new places, learn their haunted history, and watch them prove beyond doubt entities exist beyond our world. Kind of botched it at the beginning.
It's okay.
I stumbled, like when I'm reading, I go like way faster ahead than what's coming out my mouth, and it makes me stumble. And then if it's a big paragraph, I'll lose where I'm at, and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go back.
It's okay.
It's so, if I'm correct, I've interviewed you once before, right?
Don't get me lying. I don't think you have.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go check. I thought I did. Maybe it was not an interview, just us chit chat.
I know I interviewed you over on my channel, but I don't know if I've been over
Maybe
on
that's.
yours.
Oh, sorry. Maybe that's what that was. I'm completely lost.
I'll stay that way.
I've literally in the past week I've done too much. I'm gonna just put it that way. I've done way too much.
Right.
And
Sorry.
it's I don't know. It's getting a little exhausting, but I'm trying to work with it.
You can do it.
So, for those, I guess I'm gonna just act like I haven't podcasted you before, just in case.
All right.
For those of you, or for those that don't know you and your channel, how would you describe you and your channel?
Me and my channel. Different.
And what you do.
Yeah, we go beyond just the investigation. Like, you read in the little paragraph there, I am a psychic medium or spirit talker, whatever you want to call it. So I can hear them and see them, unlike normal people. So I go beyond just the investigation. I can find out really, what they're about, what they need. I could try to provide those needs and stuff like that they need. If people are having problems in their home, then, too, I can talk and see the spirits and, see if I can find out, what the problem is between them and the people that, are living with them. So, yeah.
So these said spirits, I don't even know why I said it like that. So when you see spirits,
Mm-hmm.
you see them as they have passed, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Just like me and you, without the meat suit.
and you can tell the difference that they're not in a living meat suit.
Right. Because, they're
Well, I mean, dead. You see them as they passed, obviously. Like,
right.
Well, my understanding is, like, say, like someone just passed, just like, I guess their brain just quit working and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there's no physical way you can tell that they, I guess, are dead. How do you know that they're the spirit from the living?
Well, of recently. Okay. If it's like
that was my main question. What's the difference? You know what I'm saying? If there's no physical, I guess, like, shown way of that they're dead. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I could see through them a little bit, but if it's a recent death, usually I could tell, by the hairstyle or the clothes or something. Oh, they're 1800s or they're 1950s and they're not supposed to be here. Um, if you get like more recent deaths, sometimes I have to question myself. Wait a minute, and then somebody will walk through them or something. I'm like, okay, they're not really here. So sometimes it's hard to tell.
Have you ever started talking with a spirit and that you didn't at first know that was a spirit, and
Yeah.
people thought that you was insane?
Yeah, and I've also went to give somebody a ride that was a spirit, and people in my car, "What are you doing?" "I'm gonna give these people a ride." "What people?" "Never mind."
I'm gonna keep driving.
Yeah, right. I'll just pull back out on the highway now.
Oh man.
It's fun.
Oh, I wouldn't know what to do with that, honestly.
Oh, wait till they come up to you in Walmart and ask you questions, and you don't know if they're actually people who, you know, just daily chores in Walmart, or if it's an actual spirit that cannot find the canned goods aisle.
See, I feel like I would be put in a mental ward, like if I was a medium, honestly.
Question your insanity.
It's not that I would be questioning my insanity. It would be that I would be trying to investigate paranormally, like, and I guess, I don't know. I don't want to use the word prove that they're real and whatnot, and this is happening. Just,
Mhm.
I mean, initially, I wouldn't even need, I guess, equipment to be investigating, right? Because I'm a medium.
Right, but you want to try to prove it to everybody else that you're
I
not
just,
cray cray.
I mean, I never thought of this really. At the end of the day, I wouldn't. I don't know. I use equipment to communicate with them, but if I
Mhm.
could see them, I probably would stop using equipment
Yeah,
because
that's why
I
you
don't.
don't see me use a lot of it, but I do because I want people to experience, at least, what they're saying, like, through a spirit box or something like that. That way I could say what they said and then, it comes through and it's like, okay, that's just acknowledgement. Or you can use rods or K2s or anything to SLS to see what I'm looking at. I mean, as far as that, but I don't really use those things other than to show other people I'm not nuts.
Yeah, and my and I don't know. I don't under. I don't. Hmm. I don't know. I'm just questioning because I kind of want to see, spirits. Uh,
No,
I guess like you do,
no.
but then again, I don't know if I really want to do it because I feel like it would take all the enjoyment and fun out of it.
Yeah, and it does. I've had more fun with this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre house that we call it because I've only seen the man, but I have not seen the little girl or the woman that even Billy has been speaking to. And normally, whenever I don't see them, that means that they're a negative energy. But I haven't been able to see them, and so I'm really having to put my mind to work of why don't I see them, and how do I investigate this when I'm used to seeing them? I'm like, I don't know what's going on here.
So that, I mean, true. Honestly, I mean, if I don't know how to. I'm just a lot of my mind's exploding. A lot of
Ask
different
away.
epiphanies and stuff.
I'll wait till you're driving down the road. A lot of people don't think about this, and I was telling Brenda Billy this the other day. I slammed on my brakes really fast, and of course, I almost put everybody, out of their seats, and they're all like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Somebody ran across the road," and they're like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Never mind." Okay, so I see people in fields. If you had an accident on the side of the road, I cannot hardly go down an interstate because if you think about all the accidents and stuff that happen on interstates, there's a lot of people out there look like it's a fairground. And I'm like, I don't like driving down interstates, but there's people everywhere. You don't want it. Trust me.
Well, that's not. I mean, that's one of the factors of reasons why I wouldn't want it, is because of things like that. Um, the other thing, I just thought about it, it would take the fun away because I like using equipment to speak with them. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I would, if I was to start seeing them, I would still do the same thing, just for the fun of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it mainly to see if that device works or not, and then if it does work, try to, I guess, let people know, hey, that's what works and don't work. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
And
just I
I noticed
enjoy.
with the SLS, with you, we were at the bingo hall, and I was saying, there's somebody there, but the SLS was not picking it up. So I don't know now to trust the SLS. I mean, it should map them, but you get to thinking about it. If they are whispers of energy, does connects? I mean, it maps out human body forms, solid forms, even like chairs and things like that. So if something is like air or smoke, I mean, is it actually going to map it?
Yeah. I don't think it with the mapping of chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bingo hall had millions of chairs all the way in there. Wouldn't it have mapped every single one of them if it, you know what I'm saying, instead of just one specific one at one time? You know what I'm saying? I don't like. I feel like when a lot of people like to just use it, false maps chairs a lot. I feel like that's when it's. But obviously, I wouldn't know because I can't see the spirit. You would be able to see if the spirit's sitting there or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, because to me, I feel like that people use the false mapping a lot, as an excuse to debunk. When in reality, they won't know. I wouldn't know because we couldn't see.
Right.
But I feel like when it comes to the SLS camera, I feel like it, um, like spirits. I feel like when they're in this dimension, I feel like their like how much energy they have is whether or not if they can show themselves to you. You know what I'm saying? The more energy they have, the more mass they have in this world. So when they have that more mass of electromagnetic energy, the more that they have, I feel like the more it could break them sensors to map them out. You know what I'm saying? The less massive energy that they have moving around or whatnot is not going to break the sensors necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm just, it confuses me too. I'm just, yeah, I don't have an SLS to play with that aspect. I'd like to get one.
For sure. See, that's another reason why I feel like I want to see them is for the SLS.
You could try out all the toys.
I mean, at the end of the day, I still feel like I would use the SLS if I could see them. Be like, if it's like if here's the thing, if the SLS the SLS camera does not work, that would be how I know if the person is dead or alive.
that would work.
Unless the spirit has a lot of energy, I guess, to form a mass to break the sensors. Who knows?
Who knows? Just pointed at them. Yeah, they're not supposed to be here.
Vampires with mirrors. You supposedly not be able to see them in a mirror.
It's supposed to.
We found a device that can debunk if you're a human or not. What fun that would be. I don't know. I'm kind of debating on that because every medium I speak with, and even I guess people that's not mediums necessarily, but they are very intrigued, and they go
Mhm.
into like, I don't know if call it researching or being nosy. I start asking questions, and a lot of mediums say that they feel like everyone has it. It's just that we're blocked from
Mhm.
from it. Do you? Is that something that you believe in?
No.
You don't believe that everybody has the gifts?
No, I think, like with the gifts, I think it is generational. Because I've even put research into this because everybody was saying like everybody has it. So I go to a friend of mine that doesn't have empathy toward just off the wall feelings. They're not sensitive to knowing that there's a spirit there. They don't even know a spirit's even in their house. And is your mom this way? Yeah, mom's this way, dad's this way. I mean, you look down through their family, they've never had any kind of paranormal experiences whatsoever. So it's just generational, it seems. Um, my grandmother, she was gifted in seeing and speaking to spirits. My mother was not. I am. My daughter is an empath. My son is psychic. So, there is a generational thing there.
Do you think the people that are not of that like the ones that I guess doesn't have the gifts could, so you don't think that could be like a mind block at
No,
all?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
So do you think that someone could necessarily try different things to either receive the gift or possibly, I guess, temporarily have the gift? I don't know how to really form that question properly.
I think I know what you're saying. Um, I don't know. I mean, if you've never had it, I don't know how you could receive it or give it away. That's something I don't know. I never tried, touching somebody, giving them something. I don't know.
Do you know of anyone that has done, uh, I guess, any type of form of things and has started seeing them or speaking with them, the spirit?
Mm-mm. I,
Okay.
I don't know anybody personally. No, I mean, I have heard of, NDTs, stuff like that, near death experiences, people getting the gift. I don't even know about that. I mean, I'm not that person. I don't know what they're seeing, what they're hearing, or I don't know. It's hard for me to really say on that subject.
Okay. I'm just because there's some people that has I've spoken with and they have told me that um, they believe that I guess people like everybody could see and hear them. It's just they block it out and stuff. And I've spoken with some people and they've said that they believe that it's possible that someone could like I guess be unblocked from it. I don't know. I don't know how or what, and
Hmm.
that's I guess I want to see if their theory is true or not. But then
Right.
again, the only way I feel like I would see if it's true or not is if I was to go through that experience myself, and
Right.
I wouldn't want anybody to put anybody else through that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And on top of that, I don't know if let's say, for instance, this theory works, correct?
Hmm.
So if it works, can I undo it? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And
if getting it there is hard enough. Just think of trying to undo it.
Right. And that's why I don't know if I would necessarily, because my whole thing too about the paranormal, main reasons I got into it is the science of everything,
Hmm.
the science of how it works. And I feel like that's another reason why I feel like I would, if I did see spirits, I would still use equipment because I want to know the science of it. You know what I'm saying? Even though that I would be able to see them and hear them or whatever,
Hmm.
it's the fact of I want to know how I could see and hear them and why others cannot. You know what I'm saying? And I still want to know how they can travel about and do all these things. And I guess I was, you know what I'm saying? And if
Hmm.
there's a way that we could do these things in the living as they do in our dimension, I guess, as what we call the dead, even though
Right.
to me it would still be the living.
Right. I don't know. I mean, you're really talking, transportation. Otherwise, I mean, we have to get in our car because we have what I call the meat suit. So, spiritually, you have people that do the what do they call it when they leave their body and go other places. Um, Insidious. Is that what I'm thinking of? You do have people that can do that. I mean, they can astral project. That's the word I'm looking for. Astral project themselves. So that's literally your energy leaving your body, your spirit leaving your body to go places. So I think physically we're able to do that. It's just getting back in our bodies and making sure we don't pass away. Otherwise, you are a spirit. So these spirits that are they don't have living bodies, so their energy can travel as energy does. I mean, they can go wherever they want to go.
Yeah. Um, that's that. I mean, I don't know where to go with that because I like it answers part of the question, but not
Hmm.
the full question of how they travel, like not travel from place to place. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like from this dimension to the next, as you know what I'm saying? 'Cause some, do you believe that they're like there's I don't know what's your stance on where they go from here? You know what I'm saying? When they
Okay.
move towards the light.
Okay. So let's say if I passed away tomorrow, heaven forbid I don't, but you have the next realm or the spirit realm, okay, that the spirits roam around in. A lot of times, and I don't know how religious you are, but people talk about going to the pearly gates, and all this, and a lot of things. It doesn't happen how people think it happens, so they get kind of lost in that void, this dark void. So they don't know where to go, and that's where you get a lot of your lost spirits. That's the spirits that you're speaking to, who cannot find the light or heaven or whatever you want to call it. A lot of times you can just, get a light because if you've ever been outside at nighttime, you get kind of night blind. Um, you can't really, see where you're going. If someone just points a, general direction, you go, oh, okay, I know where I'm at now. So if you can just give them a general direction of up, they can see that light, and that's, they go into that next realm of light. I did put in detail what that light is. A lot of people kinda don't like my answer on that, but I got it from a spirit, but yeah, I think there's, the void where, spirits, roam, or there's our side where they can choose to stay if they we have freedom of will, or they can go on into the light.
Do you think they can travel from that realm to this realm?
Oh, yeah, they do all the time.
Okay. That's what I was necessarily talking about how they travel. You know what I'm saying? From realm to realm, from here to there, and there to here.
Oh, from the spirit.
Yes.
Okay. It's just like walking through a doorway.
But my thing is, I want to know the science of said doorway. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Because
a
to us, we can't just open the door and walk through at any time as
right.
we're in the living bodysuit,
Mm-hmm.
meat suit.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? So as I'm living now, I feel like even after I'm dead, I would try to figure out scientifically how it's done,
Right.
and then try to give that info to
Somebody.
the living meat suits of the world at that time.
There's probably a spirit out there trying to do that. We're just like, huh?
Yeah, well, and he just ain't finding the right one to communicate with, I guess, that day.
Right.
Oh, Lord. So, I feel like we kind of jumped through two different subjects here on the paranormal. I kind of want to get back to you said that Billy sees a little girl at that home, and
Mm-hmm.
you do not. And
Mm-hmm.
usually, when you don't see it, it's a negative entity, right, or a spirit.
Right. Negative as in meaning it was never living.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to get clarification on.
Right.
So the spirit that, or the little girl that Billy sees, is that a something that was never in a living meat suit, or
Well,
are you questioning that?
I am questioning that. I don't know. Usually when I don't see them, they are of that negative side, and I have to use, the Ice Queen to see it. But I'm just rolling with it right now. I'm going to make another trip, and if I do not see this child, then I'm going to be severely questioning it. It could be something manipulating, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand.
Right.
Because I mean, once you said that, like in my head, it, and you've been saying this multiple times we spoke on it, and I'm just kind of worried. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I'm hoping that you see it, so it's not something that's
Right.
evil, or you know what I'm saying, trying to portray something that it's not. I'm hoping it's a little girl and she just likes hiding from you because I guess she's scared of the Ice Queen. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I hope, but
But
this will be first time for everything. So
that's what I'm hoping. But then again, if it's not, then that's a very bad situation.
right. In other words, I'm not going back in there for no amounts of money.
I mean, I would. If I could physically touch it, though, I should say, which I can't. If I felt like if there was some way I could, and I know I could, smack it around and get it to go somewhere away, I would do it. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I don't want to mess with it.
No, I don't want to mess with them all. I got attacked when I was younger. You know that. And I don't deal.
No, I don't like. I don't know, because I mean, I always feel like I need to be like protective. You know what I'm saying? And there's something I can't be protective about. It's like I can't see it, I can't touch it, but it can harm me or my friends. So, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to aggravate it, go in there and aggravate it and get my hide in, whoop, and possibly other people around me gets affected by it.
We don't need to call the exorcist. Y'all spitting pea green soup in there.
Well, I was told once because I was working at Amazon or Zappos. I don't like Amazon, even though I use them to purchase stuff. But I was working at Zappos, and this gentleman was working there. I was around 18, 20, somewhere around there. And the guy sat there and told me, because he was a paranormal investigator, right? And he's like, you don't want to be no part of it. You don't want to investigate. I'm not going to take you on an investigation. And I was like, why? He's like, because if I'm guessing their beliefs at the time was if there was anything, it was of a demonic presence.
Right.
There's no human spirits walking around the earth and yada yada yada. And
Wrong.
he's like, I don't want you to get possessed because you're a big dude. And he's like, I know I'm a big dude, but he's like, when a big guy like you gets possessed, it takes probably more than just 6 of me to be able to hold that person down.
Right.
He's like, I wouldn't want for you to get possessed while we were investigating and then you whoop up on me. And I was like, and I was thinking, I was like, well, there's no way I can counteract to what he's saying because I've never experienced it.
Right.
On top of that, you can never say never to everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say that I feel like I can never get possessed, and I'm never going to say that. But I do feel like I'm very protected. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to go and test my protections.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to go and try to whip up on some demon unless I 100% for a fact I know I can put some hands on him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Without,
don't be jumping off in a hurricane-filled ocean just because you know you can swim.
No. I'm not that stupid because at the end of the day, I mean, after I go piss off that demon, it probably just whoop my ass, and then it's probably gonna be whooping everybody's hind end that I come back to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that to affect my wife, my family, my friends.
Right.
And honestly, I don't care to mess with negativity. I'd rather mess with something that once been in a living meat suit.
Right. Those are nice spirits, even though you do have some that were a-holes in life. I mean, they continue to be that way in afterlife. But I'd rather deal with those people. People I could talk to, I could relate with.
Facts.
Anything else? No.
They can go the other way. Hit the road, Jack. So, all right, you don't necessarily believe one could get the gift, right? Or not get the gift, but like be able to start seeing and hearing them unless they're out of a body experience, astral projecting. Unless they were astral projecting, you know what I'm saying? Like they won't necessarily start seeing. You don't think, say, like me myself would be able to ever start hearing and seeing spirits
Not unless you had the gift to
unless I
begin with.
astral project.
No. Astral projection, I was just throwing that in there as far as being like spiritual. You was asking about going to and
Like
fro.
going out of body experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
but
by no means, nobody ever tried to have an out of a body experience. Point blank. Period. Don't do it. This is me getting information in my head and trying to process everything.
mm-hmm.
So, all right. Because my main thing is like the paranormal, there's everybody thinks differently and there's a million different theories and so on out there.
Right.
And to me, these theories are intriguing. And it's like I want to test these theories, not to prove anybody right or wrong, just to figure out, if it's possible or not possible, and if it is possible, how it's possible.
Right.
And also in the back of my mind, I have a motto that everything is possible and that there's nothing impossible. It's just that we don't know how to make it possible yet. Because all my life growing up, I was told that's impossible. That's impossible. But as growing up, I see people doing these impossible things or creating these impossible things or these impossible things happening or continuously happening, whether it be paranormal or normal. And people, so to me, I feel like everything's possible. So I'm going to give it a chance. You know what I'm saying? I don't like being the one telling people like, no, it's not possible. I just like going with the flow, testing it out. And then if somebody comes to me and they're like, well, and they think that the theory's right, and to me it's wrong, and they come down the route and ask me about it, I'm like, well, at the end of the day, I'll still be like, well, there might be something there. It's just I couldn't figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So you can go for it and try it if you want. And then because everybody to me, everybody's body's different. Everybody experiences things differently, and to every medium I have spoken with, it's all different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's not any specific one that sees them the exact same way or feels them the exact same way or hears them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess Geeked Up Paranormal is just going to be a geek trying to figure out things without stepping on people's toes.
Yeah, you're always going to step on toes along the way. But reason I said it like I did, because whenever I was born, and the same way I got my channel name, my grandmother, looked at my mom and said, "Oh, she's born with a veil." So,
well, you have data and knowledge that backs that up. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know of any other data or knowledge that backs up any other theory. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you're going to stick to your guns, which I understand. I'm not going to say that you're wrong or right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because growing up, I tried to get an explanation for this. Why am I different from everybody else? How come, everybody in school is not seeing these things and I am, and I'm the weirdo? So, you eventually have to figure it out and just chalk it up to, well, my mom's got it, my grandma's got it. I don't know.
I don't know. I think we have some people in my family, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of guessing or saying because I could be wrong. And it's just, I'm not thinking of specific. There's, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I can definitely say my friend has it. People in my wife's family has it, which scares the shit out of me. Because some stories I've heard, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And honestly, my end goal, I guess, for the rest of my life, and hopefully as I pass, I stick to this goal. As long as, I mean, the first end goal is going to be with my wife. If I pass away before my wife, I'm staying here with my wife. And then if my wife passes, then we'll decide. We'll try to decide together then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But other than that, I shook my camera. Even if I pass, I'm gonna try to better the communication with humans, with meat suits and non-meat suits.
Meat suits.
That's what I'm gonna call them from here on out: meat suits and non-meat suits, humans and non-humans.
Right. It's like I think I coined the term freshies.
Well, I didn't coin the term meat suits. I'm just using it.
I didn't coin it either.
I've heard that. I mean, I've heard it since I was itty bitty. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even. I wouldn't even be able to tell you the first person that said it to me.
No
I mean,
idea.
it's just, oh man, the thing is, it intrigues me, and what really intrigues me is how people are so in denial on things that they don't know about, don't understand, and if they believe that it's impossible, they 100% shake it off, and they don't even want to try to go down the route.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like with science of the paranormal. There's a lot of science that backs up there's paranormal. It's just they would like the you know how they call us when people, I guess they initially they would try to say that you pareidolia a lot, right? It's all pareidolia.
Yeah, I hate that word.
I want a kind of word for them for when they do that with immediately writing off evidence to the paranormal. You know what I'm saying? Immediately writing it off, because you say anything like, "Oh, I seen a spirit," they're gonna say pareidolia, or they'll have 100 different other theories. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Why can't it just be someone that has passed came to me? Why is that impossible? You know what I'm saying?
Right. They're all like, your blood sugar's low or something.
How do you know? I don't see that it's low. Your machine says it's low. How do you know? How do you? I question everything, but it's just to me that intrigues me. It's not. I don't know, because I don't want to necessarily prove anything. You know what I'm saying? Because if I did come across 100% approval of the paranormal, I know 100 different things is going to happen. First of all, the government's going to come and try to take all my information and probably try to kill me.
I don't
B,
know. Aliens are real now, don't you know?
I mean, I, I mean, I believe in aliens. I've always believed in aliens.
Right.
I mean, if the big like to me the Big Bang thing, the I ain't saying the Big Bang theory is what happened and how we got created and everything got created. But my thing is, if that is, because that's the most popular theory and belief to people. But if that is true and that happened here, why couldn't that happen in all these other galaxies and whatnot? And how come they, didn't create intelligent life form? You know what I'm saying? And if they did, how do we know or not if they're smarter than us? If you think about that, and if you think about it, if say like I was going looking around at planets to see if if there was life on it or not, and if there was and we can get onto it, I'm not going to 100% want to interact with them at first. I'm going to want to see what they do and how they act. You know what I'm saying? And if they show any, I guess, aggression like that humans do here on Earth, I wouldn't want to come in contact with them unless it was the most powerful one of them all. And then before I even did that, I want to make sure I have stuff in place to counteract the way that they react, because they might start attacking us like we do UFOs. You know what I'm saying? If anybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's definitely more in depth, and that's a totally different subject of spirits. But
Get a hold of UFO man. He'll tell you all about them. Next.
Next, let's spirits.
Yes.
I don't want to ask the main questions that everybody asks, like what's your most scary, what is your most weird paranormal incidents that's ever happened? Something that you would like to share. You don't have to share, but if something there is that's weird and you would like to share, something that's weird or maybe a spirit embarrassing itself, a story.
I'm trying to think which one to pull out of the rabbit hole.
Experienced. Something you maybe have not told many people about. Or you could have already told the world, I don't care.
Yeah, I think I've about told everybody my experiences with spirits. I'm trying to think if I have one that I'm not shared. Not off the top of my head. I mean, the most enjoyable one that I actually had, which was, whenever the police asked me to go to that lady's house, and, I had to pretty much play Dr. Phil between her and a spirit, sitting at the kitchen table. We ended up giving him back, his own room, put some 1950s furniture and stuff like that in there, and they never had problems in their home whatsoever after that. Christy Blackwell showed me a picture one time that had a naked ghost in it. That was something I didn't want to ever see again.
See, that's another thing. I feel like somebody would show me pictures and stuff, and I'm gonna be like, "Who's that?" And they're gonna be like, "This is why also I wouldn't want to go down that route, because I feel like I myself would constantly be getting called insane, because I would be asking, "Do you see that?" Or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or I'll be talking to a spirit that's standing there, and they're gonna be like, "Who the hell are you talking to?" I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry, my bad."
I get that all the time. It's like when we was at Bobby Mackey's and I was talking to people, either you or Hensley would be like, "Who's she talking to?" Never mind. Next.
But
you just talk to people.
like I feel like that would happen a lot though too, because a lot of people show me pictures, and that would like if I was to see spirits, I feel like I would definitely be able to not want to see a naked spirit a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that would happen a lot, especially pictures of people like if they take pictures of like in their home. I feel like if the spirit's comfortable with that home, they will definitely walk around naked.
Right. And here's your better one. Since you don't see spirits, how many spirits are in your bedroom or your bathroom whenever you're using it, or taking a shower, or changing your clothes? You would be surprised.
I mean, it don't bother me any thinking about it, because if you think about it in the Christianity religion, they say God is there all the time, and God's a spirit, right?
Right, but I haven't seen him show up anytime soon.
But what I'm saying, and they're saying that he's always there, he's always around. So if I'm okay with that, why wouldn't I be okay with a non-meat suit?
Because whenever I'm sitting there and I'm doing my dumplings for the day, and I look up and there's a 12-year-old boy standing there, it's like, oh, yeah, no, go away.
That is true. But you see them, I don't. So why would I? Now, if I started to see them, and if I was using the potty, that'd be different.
Right.
That'd be way different. I'd be like, okay, some respect here, boy. Move on.
The struggle is real.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like I would overwhelm myself within. I would overwhelm. I feel like I would overwhelm myself and everybody around me, probably for a year if I ever started seeing spirits. Honestly,
If you start seeing them, let me know.
I'm gonna let you know. I'll let other people know. I don't. I mean, I have seen some type of light anomalies and shadow form type things that I wouldn't consider a shadow, but I wouldn't consider it a mist either, because it wasn't like a mist. I don't know how to explain it, but it wasn't a shadow. Because I mean, I guess it could be a shadow. What people explain to be a shadow, like a shadow person or something.
Yeah, because if
because
it's not light, then it's dark, and dark
but
is a
it's
shadow.
the shadow. What I consider a shadow is like that. The shadow of my hand. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? But it was like of that, but like there was you can see around it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't up
Right.
on the wall. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it could be of a shadow person, but I've seen that things of like that, but I've never seen them like I guess I would say how you see them, and it's only been on occasions, weird occasions, or feeling. I've been feeling like if I was feeling a certain type of way, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But it I don't know how to explain it because I'm still in my head trying to explain it.
Right. They're just normal spirits. I mean, that you're seeing. It's just sometimes whenever, especially in the dark, because I mean, they're people. I mean, it's just like someone else hiding in the dark. Every once in a while, I see those black figures, but you could like see through them a little bit more than normal spirits for me. So I call them kind of like low energy spirits. Um, because I do see those in a lot of like really old places. Like we're talking 1700s, 1800s. Um, some spirits may even go back further than that, where they've not had the energy from our equipment, or they're out away from power lines, or just not had that energy around from the earth to energize into full spectral spirits. So that's kind of why I'm they're not negative in any way. It's just they're just dark spirits. I explain that.
I mean, yeah, you've explained it. It's just in my head, it's more
Complicated.
not complicated. It's just that's I don't. I'm trying to choose words in my head without offending you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I 100% believe you. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's just I'm trying to. I don't know.
Just say it. I don't offend easily. You could say I'm full of crock of crap.
No, I don't. I don't believe it. God crap. It's like it's. I want to say that's one theory, but some people that pisses off because they'll be like, "That's the only theory."
No, it's
Because
not the
to
only
me,
theory.
I'm always on the fence, and I feel
Mhm.
like how you said a spirit explained to you about uh, the realm and whatnot.
Mhm.
I feel like maybe that was that specific spirit uh, experience itself. Like I feel like spirits even experiences things differently and see things differently in the afterlife. But I could be totally wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
I
they
just felt
are people after all. I mean, everybody's different in form of opinions and mind. Why? I mean, they're people after all, still over there. So why wouldn't their thoughts be differently?
yeah. And what intrigues me is I, I guess my grandpa astro projected or something. I guess they he code glued and he came back and he explained to me this was when I was like super young,
Hmm.
and this is what keeps me as a Christian. One of the things that keeps me as a Christian. He came back and described uh, what the pearly gates looked like. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't the pearly gates. It was to him like he said he was in heaven, and it um, to me like he explained it like a field. There was wildlife, and it was like beautiful springtime type. Every it was peaceful, calming. Everything was fine, and then there was some other stuff that I get like I he explained, but not 100%. I don't want to 100% say because just in case I'm wrong on it. But
Well, you kind of explained what was told me. I mean, I'll go ahead and say it because I mean, I've said it on, different channels. When a spirit, goes through that realm, they go to the light. Um, I mean, you picture a beautiful spring day. There is a river of life in there. You hear about the river of life in the Bible. So someone's had to been there. So there's this river of life, and there is this person, this entity there. I don't know if you call it God or what you want to call it, but you can go into this river where there's this other collective of souls or energy or whatever. And that's how, little boys and girls are born with the ability to play violin at 2 years old at a master's level. You're able to remember things that, no child should, remember, like being in Vietnam or something like that. Either that spirit was either put through the river of life quickly or they rubbed up against other energies in this river of life, which, you know, you're mixing two energies, which gives them extra thoughts and abilities of other people. But, you get the clay from the river banks and you put that soul into something else and ship it on out, in other words. But, yeah.
that is so, like, how many rivers of life is there though? Is there just one collective? And are we in one now?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
Think about it. But you know what you said though is like,
Mhm.
like we leave here and we go through like we enter into like another collective group of energies, right?
Mhm.
How do we know that's not of in another world? Think about it. Think about it. No, think about it. Maybe they're not specifically allowed, or something is there. They're not because they didn't specifically say it 100% in detailed form. They said it. That's very vague. That's a vague statement. We go into a collective ball of energy with other energies or stuff, right?
Mhm. Think of the pot
What are
on
we?
the
What are
Scooby
we in
Doo
right now?
movie.
What are we in right now? We're in a ball of energy, and we're a whole bunch of energies mingling. How do we know that's not of another world? And how do we know we're not jumping from world to world? And then as we jump from world to world, we're just going from bodysuit to bodysuit. And so, you know what I'm saying? There's so many theories on that, but that the oh, man, it's my when my grandpa came back and I guess explained that to me when I was younger about what he's seen. I was like, so he's seen something. He passed away because he's like, he's dead. He's coded. We're trying to get him back. Like I wasn't in the room when all this happened. You know what I'm saying? This is like he was coding, and they was like they said that he was dead, and they brought him back. And some scientist says, well, his brain wasn't completely dead yet. Blah blah, this that and another. I don't necessarily believe that because he even said that he's seen. If I'm correct, I've walked because this is when I walked in when on the conversation when I was little because he was explaining to people he's seen them out in the waiting room in the halls and everything. He's seen what's going on.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
He left his meat suit.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's not he's not in his brain still. He was saying stuff and it was like, yeah, I can't. That's what made me not to believe scientists like doing their pareidolia science shit. You know what I'm saying? Pareidolia. Dolia science. That's what I'm gonna call it. Dolia science
Okay.
or science dolia. Science dolia. There we go.
Tell you.
every time somebody's skeptical or super 100 against it, you know what I'm saying? They're science dahlia. It's science dahlia.
There you
That's my
go.
word for it.
New
I
word.
don't, it's just, and then what intrigues me is through my life, I've heard so many people's stories about how they went to, like, I guess afterlife, I should say stories, because I don't want to say heaven and hell, because there's, and a lot of them were similar. It was beautiful, like filled, spring animals. Like it was 100 different ways that each person explained it. They explained it in their different way, but at the end of their story, it was like all these stories kind of matched up. You know what I'm saying? They matched up, and then, but they also had experienced something different in their stories and whatnot. And then there's some about where I guess they said they went to hell or something. Like when they passed away, they felt like they was being tortured and pulling and drugged and drawn into like torture. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was screaming and hollering. And then that's what kind of keeps me believing in Christianity, heaven and hell. But I also do believe that like everybody that believe, like we all believe in the same thing, we just go about it a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Which confuses me because I have seen some serial killer spirits running around. They didn't apparently go to Hades.
So they stayed here though. But what about that? Which that intrigues me too, though, because there's a lot of people's accounts about when they passed, and they was like it was negative, but nothing was positive about their experience when they came back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what? So what was that? That's what I want to figure out, because I don't want to say that they're wrong or whatnot, because maybe there was possibly they could have been tortured. You know what I'm saying? They got stuck here. It was dark. You know what I'm saying? They didn't, and then maybe a demon was torturing them or something. And then if there is I don't see. That's when I want to get into the paranormal. I want to leave my beliefs, my spiritual beliefs, out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I
That's
speak
hard to
with,
do, though.
it's very hard to do. Very hard to do, because I've noticed when speaking to people that believe in the paranormal, that have different religious beliefs, they tend to let those religious beliefs get in their way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to let that happen with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there's something here, and I feel like arguing about, I guess, the correct way of worshiping this higher power.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's see what this higher power. I don't know, because in my religion you don't test God, but I'm not trying to test God. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to understand God. You know what I'm saying? A better understanding, and I feel like this is my way. How? I don't know. It gets more in depth and crazy, but I've already got you past your time. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I would love to have you on another podcast. I have tons of questions, and I guess this was I did it again, mainly talk more of the podcast and let you speak.
It's
I don't
fine.
know. I just love having conversations, and I can 100%. Actually, there's no doubt in my mind that you see spirits, and then that not just that you can see spirits. Well, I don't know. Can you travel from, not physically in your bodysuit, but mentally travel from like there to there and look around my house? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like some people claim that they can do. I'm not saying that it can or can't be done.
I can, but it takes a lot of focus and a lot of energy from me. That is not something I practice a lot of, so I'm not very great at that. I'd rather be on scene, on spot, and work
Yeah,
with what I know.
and I understand that. Um, I had a question to back that, but it totally slipped my mind. Or not a question, something to say about it, but it it totally slipped my mind.
That's fair.
All right, is there anything that you would like to share out, uh, say, or promote?
Um, yeah, I don't know. We are having our 2-year anniversary thing being on YouTube. That is on March. I don't know when you're gonna pick this up.
Um, well, if you have a date that you say, I will put it out before that date.
Okay, so it is March 13th, and we're giving away a baby Bigfoot. Because we are going into some Bigfoot stuff too. I know you talked to Brenda here recently. I've been hanging out with her a lot. So my grandmother, Indian grandma, not only was she spiritual, but she was spiritual that she talked to the Bigfoots and she fed them. And I want to, go to that aspect too. I want to
I
do
don't know if
all
you can hear
things.
me or not. You cut in and out.
Uh-oh,
You just now came back.
great. Anyway, I don't know what part of that you got or what part you didn't get.
It's weird. We had problems at the beginning, and now we're having problems at the end. And you're gonna tell me that the whole hour in between there was no problems.
None.
That's very weird to me. As somebody dies beside me.
And so she all right?
You okay?
I good.
I don't think she's okay. That's my
You went down the wrong pipe.
water went down the wrong pipe.
I was going to say, get her a glass of water, but never mind.
It's what's killing her right now.
Allergic to water.
I was about to be like, damn, I'm gonna have to break out my Oculus here in a second. No, I'm just kidding. I would save her life. I wouldn't let her die, guys. Calm down.
Got
Well,
the old-fashioned grandma trick. I don't know if your parents ever done that. They take your arm and raise it above your head, and maybe help you keep from choking. What are you doing?
That's it. From choking, no. My I guess my dad. He's a retired fireman. He still dabbles, I guess, as an EMT, and then my mom is a phlebotomist and kind of like, I ain't trying to say she's a doctor or a nurse or nothing, but she does. She's a very intelligent woman, is what I'm gonna say. My mother is a very intelligent woman.
She is.
And she questions everything. I guess that's where I get my questioning everything from.
Could be.
Because my dad's full of shit. But he is an intelligent man too, just in a different way. But anyways, I forgot where I was going with that too. There's so much going on right now. I can't even think fully through what I was going through or what I was trying to talk about. It's so. All right, we was ending the podcast, and we were speaking about baby Bigfoot, and it cut out.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to get at, because I was like, it cut out, so I really don't know what we were speaking about. But she showed Bigfoot. I don't know if she was continuing on about that or not. So I was like, what was we speaking out? Hopefully she speaks up. So we were speaking about baby Bigfoot.
Yes. So I have 2 channels. Bigfoot Mountain, which we just started up like 2 months ago, in kind of remembrance of my grandma, because she's spiritual. She did do the Bigfoot also. I'm going to kind of like that Indian side of me. it challenges me more than paranormal because, like, we said, I see them and hear them. So, I mean, I'm never giving up my passion for the paranormal. I'm still going to have Through the Veil Paranormal, but we're over there too. So, but March 13th, we're going to be doing our 2 year for here.
The Bigfoot, the cryptid side of paranormal.
Yeah. That side.
That's another thing I wanted to speak of you more on this podcast, but was the second channel and stuff. Hopefully, we can podcast again. When you said it's March, coming up in March, for 2 years,
13th.
March 13th,
Mm-hmm.
and on that day, are you specifically doing a live or
Mhm.
anything?
Oh yeah, we're going to have a live. We're going to have the giveaway for the baby Bigfoot. That's for our members. For our friends and family, I'm going to give them a T-shirt and a sticker. I'm going to be doing every aspect of the paranormal. I've got the new tarot cards. Going to be doing a live investigation. We're also going to be doing a Bigfoot hunt. Everything is going to be kind of packed into everything.
Can I get you on this podcast one more time before March 13th?
Sure.
Because I feel like I want to put this one specifically out. Today's Monday, right? The 7th.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
probably do it this week sometime. Necessarily, I can't specific. It's gonna be this week. I can't say specific date. It's just gonna be one of the days because this specific podcast, I just feel like get down, get out there. You know what I'm saying? The rest, they're setting on. I'm setting on them, and I'm not setting on them like to wait, put them out there. It's just like I said, I've been doing a lot here lately. I'm trying to get a lot of people podcast in, and then build up, slowly let out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then try to see what I can maintain in doing weekly, I guess. How many podcasts I can try to get out or try to do in a week and get out there, I guess. See what I can maintain and then do that many podcasts a week and then have, I guess, obviously it's going to be in a line what I do first gets put out first, unless there's specific ones I feel like to put out first or it needs to come out now versus then. I know you're probably like, I don't care. Just
No.
hurry up, get me off here. I'm sorry, I ramble on too much.
You're
All right,
fine.
everybody. March 13th, 2 years, Through the Veil Paranormal, correct?
Yes.
On YouTube.
Yes.
So for 2 years, that's about the point I quit doing stuff, is 2 year mark. After 2 years, I get over it and keep moving on. I doubt that's going to happen with this YouTube stuff.
You got it. You can do it.
But so March 13th, go to Through the Veil Paranormal. She'll be doing a live. Her link will be down in the description of this podcast. So go down in the description, get the link, go subscribe to her, and subscribe to her second channel, which is
Bigfoot Mountain.
And that link will be down in the description. I don't know if I'm following it yet, subscribe to it yet, but I can promise you I will be subscribed either by the end of this today, but 100% before this podcast comes out.
Right.
Because I gotta have that link in the description.
There's supposed to be a linked video that is, as soon as you get on Through the Veil, we had that little returning video. So I think there's now a video there that takes you to Bigfoot Mountain. I hope. I put it in there.
I think I'm actually already following it because yesterday, I don't want to say I made a second YouTube account. It's for research and research purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
I went to YouTube and I typed in paranormal and then channels, and every channel that I could subscribe to, even if it was foreign and it had anything to do with paranormal, and that I could tell that it was to do with paranormal, I should say, because there was some foreign stuff I couldn't tell, so I didn't subscribe to them.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I seen Bigfoot Mountain, correct?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I seen Bigfoot Mountain in it yesterday. And then I don't know if this specific channel is following it yet, but it will.
Any and
Yeah.
all things fail, I will send you the link.
I mean, I'm 100%. I already know how to find it, know where to go. Because if I'm correct, unless there's another channel with that name, I doubt it. Because
I don't think so.
I mean, it was the only one that popped up under paranormal when I searched paranormal in channels. It was the only name that for that specific name popped up. Now, when it came to stuff with like Veil, there was multiple different Veil names out there, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, beyond the veil, through the veil.
There's although there's a lot I can't even think of, and I've went through the list like 100 times today because I've literally subscribed to over 400 or 500 people.
Wow.
And I'm still trying to subscribe to more on this channel, because what I'm gonna do, it's honestly for research. I'm gonna go to that one because I'm not gonna discriminate. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, if there's something that might pop up that I guess I can't find. I don't know. It's just all for this channel. 100% is for research purposes. It's not going to interact with anybody's channel, leave comments or anything. It's just for research purposes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it. But going down the list, Bigfoot Mountain popped up. There was like, I'm gonna say a handful of veils, and it tricked me on some of it because that's when I was doing this too. Because I was looking for everybody who I do know, and I was like, when I was hitting sub and scrolling, the first veil that popped up was you. So I thought you popped up again, and I unsubbed, and I was like, wait a minute, and I scrolled back, and I was like, no, it's subbed. And then it popped up again, another veil, and I'm like, okay, wait. I had to scroll back through it, and I was like, okay, there's multiple veils.
Yeah.
And some of them were kind of like towards the similar paraphrasing, and I was like, that's at first it got me because I wanted to make sure I wasn't unsubbing from people, and that I stayed sub, because I'm still rambling. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go. Everybody go check out this amazing lady. If you're skeptical of her evidence, screw off. If you don't believe in her, screw off. If you're into your science dolia, go find that channel and hang out with them. I guess that's going to be the end of this podcast, Geeked Up Paranormal Podcast. We had amazing guest, Nicole from Through the Veil Paranormal. Make sure you go check her out. She's very amazing at what she does. And if you need help, can they come ask you for help? Because I don't want to throw that out on you. Like, you can.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you need me to look at a photograph or try to connect with a loved one, I'd love to do that. Our email is throughtheparanormal@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me here. You can find wherever. I mean, we're not hard to find. Usually, even if you put in Google search, you will get our business page. So we're easy to get a hold of, even in LinkedIn, and Reddit, and a few others. So
I can actually say 100% on a device that I've never typed your name in before. I typed in TTVP, you popped up, and I've also typed in Through the Veil Paranormal, which you popped up. So you're definitely not hard to find, and I can 100% back this lady, and that's that, I guess.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming up.